We're back with Rafi from Lunar Signals. The game is the Moonfields Cross Misfits. Rafi, what can you tell us about this game?
So the game is a local couch competitive game. It's like a combination of Zelda and Towerfall, Street Fighter. And the main hook is that you get to customize your guy before you go and battle your friends.
So it's a 6-player versus game, but you mentioned that there's more modes than just competitive. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm starting with the competitive mode, which is 6 players against each other, couch competitive. But the game is really built to be a single player adventure as well, and I think that'll be like the cool main hook that would get me to want to play it.
So the Moonfields Cross Misfits, it's a unique name. What exactly does it mean?
It started out as the Moonfields, and that was my adventure game where you ran around and got items and in like a big world that you explored. And at a game jam, I decided to make a competitive multiplayer game, and that was like a way to test like the graphics and like the weird aesthetic that I have. And so I ended up making a competitive multiplayer game, and I wanted to make sure that people knew that it was both single player and multiplayer.
So you start with the single player game and then transition into multiplayer. Did that at all influence the single player design and vice versa?
No, the multiplayer goal was always to be a thing where you like pick and choose all the cool things that you find in single player, and then you like test them against each other. So the single player and the multiplayer kind of like, they definitely complement each other.
You've got a very Lego aesthetic here. It looks like everything's built up from a little bit of bits of blocks. Is that just an easier way to design objects for you?
No, I started making the game with sprites and pixels, and then when I moved into 3D, I wanted to keep the aesthetic. But I also wanted to take advantage of cool things like 3D lighting and physics, and it just worked really well to move into voxels and work that in with the sprites.
So of course you got your wizards, you got your knights. What kind of projectiles, what kind of weapons are we using here?
So right now the items are broken into melee, which isn't projectile. Then there's items that you can use like bows and like throwable bombs, and then there are some items that let you use magic to shoot things out. So in general, it's kind of like magic and technology are the two like projectile kind of weapons that you have right now. And I think that everything is going to grow from there. So you either get more magical things, or you'll get things that kind of like are more complex machines.
You definitely have a sort of a Smash Brothers vibe with your control scheme, a little bit more context depending on if you're pointing in a direction or what exactly made you go with that? Because that's a very unique gameplay mechanic we don't really see in too many other games.
I actually thought the Smash Brothers mechanic was really intuitive. You know, like you push a button, you get a thing, and then you have your joystick pushing out and you get the thing, but more. And when I was putting together the game, I realized that if you wanted to use a sword, you assign a sword to like your square button or something like that. Figuring out a way to use a sword in multiple ways was difficult unless I did something like that.
So the Moonfields Cross Misfits, it's coming out soon. When exactly is the date that you will start ruining people's friendships?
I'm really waiting till the single player demo is done before I start doing some like crowdfunding or kind of like a big release to plan for like the whole big shebang, like the whole big thing. Yeah.
Rafi, thank you very much. The game is the Moonfields Cross Misfits. Look for a demo soon, right?
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.